You're watching WEAR News, the Morning Current on WFGX.
And good morning. Welcome to the Monday Morning Current. I'm Jared Willis.
I'm Laura Hussey. Hope you had a great Mother's Day weekend. We are so excited for our meteorologist, Brooke Richardson. You were doing a half Ironman in the rain, and let's talk about that personal record.
Yeah, I ended up getting a personal record on my 50-mile bike and my half marathon and overall time for the half Ironman. So it was a good day for me.
So fantastic. And you were soaked.
Yeah, soaked. I think the rain actually helped us out a little bit. The good thing is we had sunshine yesterday to celebrate, and we are going to be looking at some nice conditions for this morning. We do have a touch of some rain possible later this afternoon and evening. That'll be it, though. We will have some sunshine going into the rest of your week. You can see right now over our Okaloosa Island camera, it does look gorgeous. We do have some sunshine peeking out. A little bit of some rain to the north of us, but we're not seeing any rain right now. We do have a chance by after about 12 is where we'll start to see our rain chances increasing, especially for our Alabama counties. Temperatures will still stay warm despite our rain chance later on. 60s and upper 60s starting to get closer to 70, 71 in Destin already. We will be looking at your chance of rain with the 80s by the time you hit the afternoon. And you can see it does increase our rain chances going from 1 through the overnight hour, so we could have some of that rain lingering. By the time you hit tomorrow morning, though, that rain chances will start to drop off, and we will be looking at some calmer weather heading into the end of the week.
It's 7:02. Let's get a quick look outside and check out traffic on the Escambia Bay Bridge. Light traffic there, moving smoothly, and no reports of any sort of slowdown this morning.
First this morning, the former Okaloosa County deputy accused of killing an Air Force senior airman will appear in court next week.
Eddie Duran charged with manslaughter in the death of senior airman Roger Fortson. Duran shot and killed Fortson May 3rd, 2024, while responding to his apartment after a domestic disturbance call.
Body cam video of that shooting shows Duran open fire just seconds after Fortson opened his door. Fortson was holding a gun at his side, but never moved to raise it.
In March, Duran's attorneys revealed they would be arguing self-defense. Today, Duran is scheduled to appear for a pretrial hearing. Trial expected to begin September 28th.
One American has tested positive for the hantavirus that turned an Atlantic cruise into a nightmare.
Everyone's talking about it. A plane carrying the 17 Americans who are on that ship arriving in the U.S. overnight.
WEAR's Aria Circa joining us with what's unfolding as you wake up this morning.
Passengers on that ship got on charter flights back home after arriving in the Canary Islands. The American who tested positive was brought to a special unit in Nebraska this morning as officials continue to monitor the other passengers. Another passenger is showing mild symptoms of the plane's biocontainment unit out of abundance of caution. All 17 are now headed to that facility in Nebraska. The passenger who tested positive will be taken to a specialized biocontainment unit. The others will go to the National Quarantine Unit for assessment and monitoring. The CDC said there will be no mandatory quarantine for the people not showing symptoms of the hantavirus. They will be allowed to either go home and self-monitor for 42 days, or they can stay in the quarantine center.
But it is atypical to have so much quiet from CDC and really letting another organization be the voice that Americans are listening to.
They didn't see what the CDC has been doing, right? So we are in touch with the WHO. We're in touch with the international health organizations.
That's the CDC's acting director on CNN pushing back as growing questions about the CDC's role in containing the outbreak following the Trump administration laying off 2,400 workers. Authorities in France also confirm a French passenger on the ship experienced symptoms during their flight home. They are now under observation. Laura, Jared?
Then at the same time, more than 100 people are sick with the norovirus on a Princess cruise ship.
102 passengers and 13 crew were sickened in this outbreak, according to the CDC. Now, This outbreak was reported Thursday. The ship on a voyage through the Caribbean right now.
That's supposed to end today and port in Cape Canaveral. Officials say the ship has been disinfected. Extra cleaning protocols, they say, are in place as well.
And they say the ship will undergo a deeper clean once everybody is off today before they take off on their next cruise. Passengers say the cruise line has been very active in stopping the spread. They say mostly it's business as usual on board.
Another Princess ship in the Caribbean saw a similar outbreak in March that made 150 plus people sick with the norovirus.
All right, there are 2 outbreaks going on right now. We're hearing a lot about them. And tell us how you feel. Would you feel safe taking a cruise right now? We will share the final results with you tomorrow morning.
We've been waiting for this for a long time. It's been quite the journey, but today, well, tonight really is the night, right?
Keela Richardson on American Idol, the big finale, where we'll find out who the next idol is.
Yeah, it's a 3-hour-long season 24 finale. It airs tonight at 7 p.m. and the final 3 contestants, including Keela Richardson, Hannah Harper from Willow Springs, Missouri, and Jordan McCullough from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and Alicia Keys will be the guest judge.
Carrie Underwood, Lionel Richie, Luke Bryan, your regular judges, and of course, we the people.
Absolutely. There are also going to be some bonus performers. People Magazine says we can expect to see Brad Paisley, Clay Aiken, Leanne Womack, Nelly, and more.
Yeah, voting is going to open when the episode starts. There are 3 ways to vote: on the American Idol website, via text message, and on social media. To vote by text, text the number of the finalists you're voting for to 21523. Keela's number will be 20, by the way.
20. If you want to vote on social media, visit American Idol's Facebook, Insta, or TikTok. Remember, there is a limit of 10 votes per contestant per method.
So every method, 10 votes.
It's a little confusing for a guy like me, but I'll figure it out. There are several watch parties going around. There are watch parties at Seville Quarter, Margarita's Fusion Restaurant and Bar, Perfect Plain Brewing, and more listed on your screen, perhaps.
All right, go Keela. And we want to know what your plans are. Are you going to watch the final tonight? Scan the QR on your screen and let us know. Answer the question. And of course, we will update these results as well as our big winner tomorrow morning.
Of course, we do like to know what's going on in your world, and the best way you can do that is chime in from our website. Send pictures or send videos. You'd love to see what's going on.
And stay with us. Iran responding to a U.S. proposal, but not in the affirmative. We'll talk about why President Trump calls Iran's response totally unacceptable.
You know this, of course, a man hit and killed by a Frontier airliner taking off in Denver. Airport officials say, interestingly enough, he should not have been there. Really? The details about and what we hear from a passenger on the way. But right now, I think it's time.
So we have a coffee break.
Can we have a coffee break,
Yeah,
please?
Monday coffee breaks are extra special, right? Cheers.
Cheers.
Have a good Monday.
Hardly breaking news, but oil prices are rising again after the president rejected Iran's response to the latest U.S. peace proposal.
The U.S. proposal called for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. In exchange, the United States would ease its blockade of Iranian ports for a 30-day period, during which both sides could negotiate a full deal. Well, Iran's response reportedly included a demand to end the war and lift oil sanctions.
Global oil prices jumping more than 3% overnight. Gas prices averaging $4.48 a gallon across the country. That's up $1.50 since the war began. Energy Secretary suggesting administration is open to suspending the federal gas tax, which, by the way, is 18 cents a gallon.
Just last week, a White House official said suspending the gas tax was not under consideration.
In the great state of Florida, gas prices easing up a little bit after hitting that 4-year high.
Yeah, the state average is sitting about $4.43 a gallon as you wake up this morning. That follows the peak last Thursday of $4.50 a gallon, the highest since July of 22, when the Ukraine war had broken out and there were other price pressures on gas.
Northwest Florida seeing the least expensive gas, prices under $4.20 a gallon from Pensacola to Panama City.
The body of an American soldier who went missing while in Morocco for an annual training exercise has now been recovered.
The remains of 27-year-old First Lieutenant Kendrick Lamont Key Jr. recovered in the Atlantic. He was one of 2 service members who disappeared just over 1 week ago.
The 2 were in Morocco for a military training exercise, and it's believed they fell off a cliff during a recreational hike while they were off duty. Their disappearance triggered a search and rescue operation involving more than 600 people, frigates, vessels, helicopters, and drones. Army officials say the search operations for the 2nd service member continue.
This is a heck of a story. A Frontier Airlines hit a person as they're getting ready to take off from Denver's International Airport. It happened late Friday night.
The flight was headed for LA when it all happened. Airport officials say this person had jumped the airport's perimeter fence and that they were struck minutes later while crossing the runway.
The person killed, they say they are not believed to be an employee of the airport. People on the plane report seeing flames and smoke. They say there was a brief engine fire. Everyone got off the aircraft using those emergency slides.
We're told nobody on board was hurt. The National Transportation Safety Board as well as the FAA are investigating this incident.
And a number of people at the hospital Saturday after what they're calling a boat explosion. This happened in Miami.
Florida Fish and Wildlife says this was a charter boat carrying several people. It was near the Haulover Sandbar when some kind of explosion happened on board.
First responders got there about 1 in the afternoon. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue initially said 15 people have been taken to the hospital, later pared that down to 11. No report on any of their conditions. And
the investigation is still ongoing as well. At this point, no other information has been released.
We're going to talk about this Texas man accused of killing his pregnant wife, then fleeing the U.S. He's due in court today in Italy.
Yeah, his name is Lee Gilly, and right now he is seeking asylum, hoping to escape a possible death sentence. He's accused of strangling his wife, Krista, in their home in Houston in 2024 while she was 9 weeks pregnant.
Gilly claimed his wife took her own life while awaiting trial. Gilly was freed on a $1 million bond earlier this month. Police say he cut off the ankle monitor and flew to Milan using some fake travel documents.
See, Italy abolished the death penalty decades ago. A treaty will prohibit Italy from sending anybody back to a country that still has it.
Texas prosecutors have not said whether or not they plan to seek the death penalty. The Italian judge has said he'll seek more clarification before a decision is made on returning Gilly to the U.S. of A.
And if that weren't a movie, maybe this one is an alleged case of blackmail targeting the billionaire owner of an NBA team, and it is all set to go to trial now.
The co-owner of the Milwaukee Bucks, Wesley Edens, is at the center of the sextortion case. Edens met Chiligua Luo, the founder of a New York nonprofit, in 2022.
And prosecutors claim that months after this relationship started, Luo wrote Edens claiming she'd been mentally incapacitated when they had sex. Her lawyers say that he agreed to settle for $6.5 million.
Prosecutors allege Luo later demanded more than $1 billion. A month later, she was arrested, trying to board a flight to go to China.
She has entered a plea of not guilty to blackmail and destruction of records. Her attorney says the relationship was, quote, inappropriate and aggressive, and that she's seeking justice and compensation.
Edens is expected to testify at the trial. Luo released on bond. The trial set to begin sometime later this year. Our favorite camera this morning.
Always love this shot of the Okaloosa Pier. Thanks to the Okaloosa County, everybody over there really, for keeping this going. Brooke, underwater looking pretty good, and above the water not too bad today either.
Not too bad. You know, yesterday it was gorgeous as well. I know we were walking the beach a little bit yesterday. It was just beautiful. We're seeing more of that nice weather right now. Enjoy the morning because it will look a little different by the afternoon. The good news is we'll have more of these nice days to end the week. We're just dealing with some more rain as we go in the afternoon, but at least your mornings going to be starting off quite nice. Perfect way to start a Monday. You can start to see a little bit of a haze out there. We're still seeing high humidity. We're looking at a few clouds this morning as well. Clouds will continue to increase heading into those afternoon hours. Right now, radar is dry, but that is expected to change. You can see a lot more moisture just to the west, a lot of cloud cover and even some showers already. We do have a low end threat of severe weather later this afternoon. It is for Alabama counties, does not include Northwest Florida, but we could still see some stronger storms for parts of Mobile, Baldwin County. What we're going to be looking at is those storms really starting to pick up as we head later in the afternoon. So you can see all the way through about 1 o'clock even, we could look mostly dry, but just cloudier by the middle of the day. Heading into the later half of your afternoon, showers, thunderstorms could start to pick up. You can see over Alabama counties, that's where we do have the best chance of seeing some of the rain. It is going to be through about 7 p.m. for Alabama, and then Northwest Florida, we could start to see some of those showers build in. We're looking at lighter rain for Northwest Florida, but the rain could be continuing for most of that evening for Mobile, Baldwin County, and even the overnight hours. Northwest Florida looks like we'll have that rain continuing through the overnight period. Going into early Tuesday morning, we'll still have some rain around, but it will come to an end. We're going to be expecting things to look much drier by about 6 a.m. on Tuesday. The rest of that morning should be looking nice. You'll have the sky starting to clear out, a few passing clouds through the evening. Still not looking at much rain as we head into your Wednesday, Thursday, even through the weekend. So after we get through the shower chance today and tonight, we're going to be looking at much drier conditions to end the day or end the week. Heading into your temperatures, we're in the 60s, upper 60s, even 70s right now, 71 in Destin. It's warm, it's humid. We're expecting temperatures to stay warm well into the end of the week. Anywhere between 80 and 85 is what we're expecting today. We could see the mid 80s along the coastline by the end of the week, so prepare for some warmer weather. Looks like that's heading our way for the weekend. Sea-Tow Marine forecast, 1 foot for the Gulf. Winds are variable at about 5 knots, and we do have your yellow flags flying right now. Good chance we'll see yellow or green flags later on today. Let's get you through your week ahead. It's looking like a rain chance today, especially for the later half of your afternoon, evening, and the overnight hours. We'll look at some sunshine by Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through the weekend, and you can see those temperatures staying warm in the 80s as we head through the weekend.
Keeping an eye on your Monday morning drive, we'll take a live look out. This is I-10 and Pine Forest. That's just the camera. The traffic isn't really stopped. It's just stacking up a little bit as it does this time of day. It is 7:19 now.
A couple of actors being sued by a couple of police officers from Miami over a Netflix movie that they starred in. It's interesting. We'll talk about it.
Singer Dua Lipa is suing Samsung, saying they used her face to help market and sell their TVs.
Yeah, the complaint filed in California Thursday. It accuses Samsung of copyright infringement and says they used copyrighted images on their cardboard television boxes. And the suit says Samsung ignored repeated demands to stop.
She is seeking how much? $15 million. The complaint says she was very selective in her brand partnerships, said she would not have agreed to license her name and face to Samsung.
She also says they have documentation of at least one person who says they bought that Samsung TV after seeing Dua Lipa on the box.
That's a reason to buy a TV, isn't it?
Samsung has not publicly commented on this one.
Now, if your picture is on it, I'd buy the television. I mean, come on, who wouldn't do that?
Your check is in the mail.
This is, I don't know what this is. Several Miami police officers are suing Matt Damon and Ben Affleck over a Netflix movie.
The movie is The Rip. You may have watched it already because it was released in January. It was inspired by the true story of the 2016 Miami Lakes narcotics raid, which was the largest money seizure in Miami-Dade history. $24 million seized by police.
Yeah, the officers involved in the raid filed the suit. It says the film negatively depicts them, damaged their reputation, and it says the movie's name, The Rip, implies something that was stolen in the raid.
One officer says he gets teased. Now, hold it back now. He gets teased, accused of stealing. Not the first time the movie's been criticized, by the way. It was filmed in Hialeah. The mayor says it makes their city look unsafe. And the police officers, a couple of them said they look like me too. You know, we'll see how, we'll follow that one for you.
Chime In is sponsored by Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, from Kaylee Perez, this is so sweet. She says, my first Mother's Day as a mama to 5. Oh, I love it.
Oh, that's so sweet. And this is from Caitlin. This is 4-year-old, 2-year-old, and 4-day-year-old. Well, happy mother. Oh my goodness, 4 days.
Yeah, thanks for cranking out the photo and sending it right in.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes, indeed.
On the way back to the hard news, a new lawsuit filed in connection to the mass shooting at Florida State last year. Who filed the suit, who is being sued, and the details that led to this legal battle. On the way.
Like it's Good morning, 727, the morning current. Welcome, I'm Laura Hussey. This is Jared, and we were talking to meteorologist Brooke Richardson, which is really the highlight of our day for many reasons. If you weren't with us at the top of the show, she set a new Ironman personal record, so that's another great thing.
Yeah, and it was quite wet on Saturday for the race. Yeah. It was, you know, I said that we swam twice because of the rain, but at least yesterday, Mother's Day, it held off and it was lovely. Today, we're starting off with some nice weather as well. As we go into the rest of the week, we actually have some gorgeous weather on tap. Little chance of some rain this afternoon, evening, nighttime. That's going to be your best chance of rain this week, because after that, we're going to be looking at some calmer weather. You can see right now your radar is most of the part dry. We do have a few showers to the north, but we're looking at some sunshine along the coastline. We'll have a few more clouds rolling in the afternoon, and then the rain chances will kick off. Temperatures are staying warm with this. We're in the 60s, upper 60s, 70s. Destin now at 71 degrees. We will be in the 80s with that rain chance. So even though those showers are expected to move in, it's going to be looking isolated where we have the heavy stuff, but you can expect at least some form of rain going into the evening and overnight hours especially. We will be looking at the sun come back by Tuesday, and we'll have more sunshine for the end of the week.
Keeping an eye on your Monday morning drive. There's I-10 east of 9th Avenue. Everybody's moving smoothly on a Monday. We love it. It is 728.
The family of a victim of the shooting at Florida State last year is suing OpenAI, saying ChatGPT enabled the attack.
The lawsuit filed here in Florida yesterday by the widow of Tiru Chaba, who was one of two people killed in April of 2025 when that shooting took place. Now, this suit, in addition to OpenAI, also names the suspected shooter, Phoenix Eichner.
Now, the lawsuit claims that ChatGPT failed to detect a threat in its conversations with Eichner. Here's a rundown of what the lawsuit claims ChatGPT did. It apparently explained how to use the guns Eichner bought from there, gave him instructions on carrying out the attack in order to get the most attention.
It also asked him about the busiest times on campus. The lawsuit saying it told him, quote, if children are involved, even 2 to 3 victims can draw more attention. That supposedly is what ChatGPT said. Also, apparently, Chat also talked to him through the legal consequences of actions of that nature. OpenAI says ChatGPT is not responsible for the shooting, says it provided factual answers based on the questions asked, says information that is easily found online. They insist it did not promote any illegal activity. Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier announced last month a criminal investigation into OpenAI and ChatGPT. He says if Chat were a person, they would face murder charges. And the accused White House Correspondents' Dinner shooter will appear in court today. Defense attorneys for Cole Allen, the accused, filed a motion to disqualify U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro as well as Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche. They're arguing that both of them were attendees at the event and could be considered witnesses. Potential victims, the filing says their involvement creates an appearance of partiality. Prosecutors say Allen rushed through the security checkpoint armed with a shotgun at the time. President Trump and other top administrative officials attending that dinner on a different floor. Allen faces multiple charges, including attempting to assassinate the president. A little tension between Escambia County commissioners after hiring of the county's newest library director. In March, commissioners voted to confirm Crystal Bell Rivera for that job. County Administrator Wes Marino selected Bell Rivera. The library board had, however, rallied for a different candidate named Bradley Vincent. In Weekly Publisher, Rick Outson released text exchanges between Commissioner Ashley Hoffberger and her aide, Melanie Luna. Those messages showed the two criticizing Vincent's interview and management experience. Commissioner Mike Kohler says this whole controversy is reflecting poorly on the entire commission. He has called on both Hoffberger and Marino to apologize. Now, Wes Marino did apologize. Hoffberger did not speak up during the meeting. Of course, we'd like to know what you think. Here is the question we asked. Do you think the county should have gone with the library board's choice for library director? 70% said yes, 30% said no. Another controversy going on, the debate over customary use, on Perdido Key is moving ahead. The Escambia County Commission has now opened a portal. They're asking for input from both sides, things like sworn affidavits, documents, photos, and video. Condo owners in this dispute say they own the beach up to the wet sand. Members of the public strongly disagree, saying this doctrine, customary use, makes all of the sand public property.
Now, the county says the submission process may well be tedious, true enough, but it's necessary, they say, for the county to build a strong legal argument for whatever their decision might be. The county's legal department will sort through the submissions, seeing what can be used and what cannot be used.
The deadline to turn it all in is the end of August, and it's expected a final decision could come in November.
What do you think, of course? Should all of Perdido Key beaches be public? Here's the results so far.
84% said yes and 16% said no.
Governor DeSantis is taking action, he says, to protect Florida's from those huge data centers.
He has signed a new bill into law that makes sure local governments can maintain their authority to reject data center developments in their communities. Now, these large-scale data centers we've been hearing so much about are warehouses, in many cases spanning hundreds of acres, that contain thousands of computers used to power programs like artificial intelligence.
Now, the legislation would prevent data center costs from being passed on to consumers. It prohibits utilities from serving data centers owned or controlled by foreign countries of concern.
It also protects Florida's water resources from data center consumption. These things can use huge amounts of water to keep the machines cool, and as I mentioned, they can be phenomenally big in terms of the surrounding neighborhoods.
More to do here. We asked you what do you think about the data centers? Do you support them being in Florida, yes or no?
82% said no, 18% said yes.
No surprise, I guess. Temporary lane closures start this morning on beautiful Pensacola Beach.
The northbound inside lane of Pensacola Beach Boulevard, the one that's coming off the beach from 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. will be the area affected.
Crews are working on the Gateway Improvement Project, including demolishing the old toll booth. How old-fashioned, right? Installing a new toll gantry. Now, southbound traffic will not be impacted, and this should all be finished by May 20th, depending on weather and such.
Coming up, recess may not just be a chance for kids to burn energy and teachers to take a breath. A new study finds time out of the classroom may help kids perform better inside the classroom.
And a U.S. cabinet member making his return to reality TV with his wife and children. It's a 5-part YouTube series, and the part that Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy plays in this whole thing. On the way. That's a lot to take in this last block, huh?
And Mondays are a lot to take in general. We're so glad you're with us because together we can all take a coffee break. Oh,
Please.
Wait, let me get the side without the lipstick. There we go.
Really, recess? I don't think this is, scientific stuff. Recess is good.
Most kids think recess
think
is
it's
good.
great.
Yes. And it seems that it's not just burning off energy. It could be helping kids keep up their grades in the classroom.
I knew it. American Academy of Pediatrics issued their first new guidance in 13 years on recess. They published it today.
Yeah, it says that new evidence shows kids need pauses between concentrated bouts of learning. It allows the brain to hold and store information.
I was just literally listening to a podcast this morning where this woman who's been in education all her life said exactly the same thing. And also researchers say kids get a chance to navigate relationships, build confidence, as well as the obvious that physical activity is important for your health and to fight obesity.
Obesity, by the way, affecting 1 in 5 children and teenagers in the U.S. They say recess is important for all ages, even us.
Oh, when's our recess? Right now.
You want to go out and play some kickball?
Oh, yeah. Let's
go. Anyway, the problem, recess apparently is under threat. More and more academic pressures, it seems.
Yeah, since the mid-2000s, up 40% of school districts nationally have reduced or eliminated recess from the CDC. The durations vary and older kids get less recess time.
All right, studies show kids should get at least 20 minutes of recess a day, plus breaks. In some other countries, Denmark, Japan, the UK, for example, they give students breaks every 45 to 50 minutes of instruction.
There we go.
Something to think about.
We'll see what happens. All right, this is interesting. The U.S. Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, is celebrating America's 250th anniversary with a new documentary/reality series.
Right, it's a 5-part series called The Great American Road Trip. So we were talking about it's on YouTube, so is it really fair to call it a reality show? And Duffy is going to travel across the country with his wife, Fox News host Rachel Campos Duffy, and their 9 children.
Yeah, the show's motto is to love America is to see America. It's the return of reality TV for Duffy. He was on The Real World Boston in 1997.
Yeah, who knew?
How crazy. He was on Road Rules All-Stars as well with his wife.
A lot of people get, well, of course, you do what you say good morning to someone will not like it. A lot of criticism, people calling it death considering the high prices of gas right now.
Duffy says all the production costs, including gas, were covered by a nonprofit, not taxpayers. He also points out neither he nor any of his family were paid salary or royalties. And in fairness, this was filmed in late 25, early 26, before we had the big bump in gas prices.
That story, this story, depending on how you look at it, and all our stories available on YouTube.com. Speaking of, right? Go to YouTube, search out WEAR News. All of our stories are there for your review at your leisure.
Coming up, making fertility treatments more accessible. How the White House is helping employers offer meaningful coverage. If you're hitting the road for Memorial Day weekend, you are not alone.
Despite the price of gas, close to 2.6 million Floridians are expected to travel at least 50 miles for the weekend. AAA says that sets a new record for the holiday.
Those numbers cover a 5-day travel period from Thursday to Monday. Most people say, 2.3 million people, by the way, say they're taking road trips.
Now let's see here, 236,000 will fly and nearly 75,000 will take a cruise, bus, or a train.
Nationally, AAA estimates 45 million Americans will travel over the holiday weekend. And oh, by the way, that would be the highest number ever.
The Trump administration now taking more steps to expand access to fertility benefits.
There's a new rule in place that would ease statutory and regulatory burdens to make IVF and other treatments more affordable, proposed by the U.S. Departments of Labor, Health and Human Resources, and Treasury.
They say right now, even employees with health care coverage often don't have robust fertility coverage. The rule would create a new category of limited accepted benefits, making it easier for employers to offer meaningful fertility benefits to employees.
There are a few requirements. All the benefits have to be used to diagnose and treat infertility or related reproductive health issues. The lifetime benefits are capped at $120,000, and employers must give clear notice to employees about this coverage. Next step is a 60-day public comment period.
We always like to travel around here on the Morning Current, turn on the camera here, there, and everywhere.
Well, this one is from the Everglades. You know that Everglades fire is still burning, and you can see that in the background. The sky is just dark with smoke.
Yeah, the crews are working to keep the fire away from homes in Pembroke Pines. It started yesterday and it spread quickly. It's now at 5,000 plus acres burned and only 20% contained.
Are we still in a drought?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No injuries in this situation, but our thoughts certainly with those people dealing with that fire in the Glades.
Here, though.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What a stunning Mother's Day we had, and we're waking up to a very decent Monday.
It's beautiful this morning, and we really did just see a stunner of a day yesterday. So the weather held out for our Mother's Day. Look at that gorgeous weather this morning. We do have some clouds that'll move in by the time you hit later in the morning, and then by the afternoon, we'll have a chance of some rain starting up. We'll look at our main rain chance this week starting this afternoon. Mainly the evening and nighttime hours, but it should clear out for the rest of the day on Tuesday, and then you'll have sunshine through the rest of the week. So really just a little section of the day today that will have our rain, certainly not this morning. It is gorgeous and sunny. You can see a few showers to the north of us. There is going to be a little bit of more activity. You can see some of those clouds, a little bit of that rain that's going to be moving towards our area. It'll bring a chance of some heavier showers, low in threat of severe weather here, especially for South Mobile and Baldwin County. That's where we'll be watching for a low in threat of severe weather. Let's take a look at the timing now, because like we're just seeing, it's gorgeous. It does look beautiful outside for most of your morning and early afternoon. Around 2 p.m. we'll start to see a chance of some rain, and the best chance that you will see the showers will be later into the day. So starting in the late afternoon, heading into your evening, mainly overnight for Northwest Florida. The rain chance is really going to stay out of Northwest Florida until the nighttime, and then we'll be looking at some wet weather to go into the nighttime. Wake up early Tuesday morning. This is around 2 a.m. By 4 to 5 a.m. though, those showers will be making their way out. We'll look at some calmer weather as we head into the rest of that day on Tuesday. We'll see some sunshine, a few passing clouds. We'll look at some beautiful weather for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All be looking like some beautiful, nice days as we head to the end of the week. As for our temperatures, right now we are seeing the 60s, the 70s. It is going to be warm with this. We're looking at temperatures staying warm today, and it will actually get a little bit warmer for the end of the week. We're highs today anywhere from 80 to about 85 degrees. By the end of the week, we could see closer to the mid 80s at the coastline. So it's going to be getting warmer as we see a little more sunshine, a little less rain as we head into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's take a look at your coastal conditions now. It does look quite nice out there. We do have 1 foot for your sea tow marine forecast. We're going to be seeing variable winds for this morning at about 5 knots. We're looking at our cameras and it does look nice and flat out there. So it is going to be a beautiful day if you are heading out on the boat. We are also looking at those calm conditions if you're heading out to the beach today, maybe making it a long Mother's Day weekend. Today is looking nice this morning. You do have your yellow flags flying though. Good chance we could see either yellow or green flags later today. Just make sure you are checking consistently as you head throughout the day. Should be beautiful. Here's a look at your week ahead. You can see your temperatures are going to stay warm through your week despite the rain today. We do have about a 50% chance you'll see some showers, thunderstorms late in the day going into the overnight. That's why that rain chance does continue slightly for Tuesday. Does not look like it's going to last too long for your Tuesday though before the sunshine does break out. We'll be looking at some sunshine for Wednesday, Thursday, all the way into Sunday. And you can see those highs staying in the 80s, anywhere between 81 and about 84 degrees with those lows staying warm as well. 60s and 70s.
It is 7:49 and this is a live shot of the 3 Mile Bridge. Traffic light and moving smoothly.
Robert Irwin says he had a close call with a crocodile. Coming up, how he got through all that and where Jimmy Fallon comes into the mix.
Okay, Robert Irwin says he had a close call with a crocodile that he's known since he was a baby, and he told the story on Jimmy Fallon recently.
He said he named the crocodile Jimmy Fallon when it was a baby. He says now they call it a boss croc.
I wonder if he was telling Jimmy, like, this is all your fault. Apparently they were doing some routine research and he had to climb on the crocodile's back. I guess that's part of the routine research, but the croc for some reason goes into a death roll when he gets on there.
Yeah, he says there was a period of time where he was underneath the 700-pound crocodile. Eventually, the crocodile rolled back over and he was fine. But Robert Irwin and his mother and sister have made it their life's mission to educate people about animals, you know, because of...
They run the Australia Zoo together. Now, Steve Irwin died doing a documentary at the Great Barrier Reef, right, way back in 2006.
Robert was just 2 years old, and so he's really grown up with us, and we are glad he is okay.
He's really taken on his father's legacy.
He sure has.
It's cool to see.
Chime In is sponsored by Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
Brooke, I don't know if you saw these two earlier. This is Kona and Donna. Thank you, Flormina de la Cruz, for this. They look fabulous.
They're so pretty.
Sharon B., thank you. This is entitled simply, Happy Mother's Day.
Aw,
Happy Mother's Day.
We will be right back with more with the Morning Current.
Story.
A local sailor receiving quite the prestigious award.
Navy diver first class Mark Powell named the Naval Education and Training Command's 2025 Sailor of the Year. He was selected from a field of more than 2,500 first class petty officers.
He credited his command and his family for the achievement. NETC oversees the majority of Navy training operations across the world.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Well done.
Well, we do have a chance of some rain as we head later into your day today. It's mainly going to be evening overnight hours where we have the best chance of widespread showers. It does come to an end for the rest of the week, though. We'll see that rain end early Tuesday, and then heading into the end of your week, we'll see some sunshine. Temperatures will be nice and warm, 80s to about the mid 80s, and your temperatures overnight will stay in the 60s and 70s. So just have to get through that rain later on today, and then we'll be looking at some beautiful sunny skies even lasting into your weekend.
All right, we will take it. Look at this. We're getting it a little bit better than Miami this morning, but what a skyline in South Florida. Just a few clouds.
I can feel the humidity.
Yeah, you actually can. Good morning, Miami. We'll check in with you later, but right now, thanks for watching us on the Morning Current. It's been a pretty good show. Oh, one more congrats for Brooke. Can we do that?
Why not?
All right, congratulations in your half Ironman for setting several personal records, soaking wet, smiling all the way. Follow her on Facebook if you have not already, because we can follow all your exploits.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll post some more pictures.
There we go.
My first transition took a little extra time because I was talking about the sand dollars we saw on the swim.
Oh, there we go.
All good.
Do that. Enjoy your day. We'll see you again tomorrow right here at 7 o'clock.